we've got this in-depth accident report on Air India's B7878 that crashed at Ahmedabad on 12th of June 2025. It covers everything from aircraft details to the wreckage and investigation progress.
Right, it's quite detailed. Can you walk me through the main sequence of events during the flight?
Sure. So, the aircraft, registration VT-ANB, was operating the scheduled flight AI171 from Ahmedabad to Gatwick when it crashed immediately after takeoff. The report tells us that the takeoff started normally around 0807 UTC, achieving roughly 153 to 155 knots IAS, but then within seconds, the engines had their fuel cutoff switches activated sequentially. That was a pivotal moment. The cockpit voice recording even catches a pilot asking the other, "Why did you cut off?"
That's unsettling. And I believe the report mentioned a rat deployment as well, right?
Yes, exactly. Shortly after liftoff, the ram air turbine kicked in, which is a standard emergency procedure to restore hydraulic power. But here, it highlighted that things had already taken a nosedive. Literally. The aircraft started losing altitude before even crossing the airport perimeter.
And the wreckage spread was extensive, wasn't it? It hit multiple buildings, including a hostel and several other structures.
Right, the crash impacted the BJ Medical College hostel nearly 0.9 nautical miles from the runway, with debris distributed over a rough area of 1,000 by 400 feet. Parts of the right engine, wings, landing gear, even the vertical stabilizer ended up in different buildings. It's a really chaotic scene.
Now, one thing I'm curious about, the report mentions that there were several active minimum equipment list items on board pre-flight. Do you think that played any role in the incident?
Well, the report details 4 Cat C and 1 Cat A MEL items related to, like, flight deck door visuals and nitrogen generation, all within valid periods. The investigation so far hasn't recommended any actions to the B7878 or GE engine operators. So, it's more likely that the fuel cutoff event, which seems to be a crew or system anomaly, was the primary trigger, rather than the MEL items.
I get that, though I wonder if the advisory nature of the previous FAA bulletin on fuel control switches could have been a red flag, even if it was considered non-mandatory.
That's a fair point. The report notes the FAA's SAIB regarding fuel control switch locking features on similar systems. However, no defects were directly reported on VT-ANB since 2023. So, while it's an area to keep an eye on, it doesn't seem to directly link to this accident.
Right. And what about the investigation process itself? It seems like they had an international team involved.
Absolutely. The investigation saw a robust collaboration with teams from the NTSB, representatives from Boeing, GE, and even experts from the UK, Portugal, and Canada, due to the involvement of international passengers. They even used a golden chassis to download critical data from the flight recorders. The approach was methodical, from initial evidence preservation to detailed analysis of flight data and cockpit voice recordings.
It's really detailed, and the fact that the aircraft's maintenance and flight credentials were all in check makes the sudden engine cutoff even more puzzling. Do you think crew actions were more to blame, or was it a system error?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? The cockpit recording, where one pilot questions the other about the cutoff, hints at possible miscommunication, but the report is preliminary. It emphasizes accident prevention rather than assigning blame. The investigation is still ongoing, and further analysis of the flight data will hopefully clarify the exact sequence. It really underscores the importance of learning from every incident to help prevent future events.
Definitely, these detailed investigations, even with the early findings, are crucial for building safer aviation protocols.
Exactly. Every piece of evidence, from MET info to communications and wreckage layout, just feeds into understanding what went wrong